All right, hey guys, back at it today. Yes, it's freezing in here still. I'm by myself today, and I'm going to use the Dr. Dish, and I'll get to that in a second. But I heard a great quote one time about work ethic, basically. And the quote went something to the effect of, "It's not the hard work that scares people away from greatness, it's the boredom." And I just totally resonated with that. You know, a lot of people work hard, but working hard for really long amounts of time and every day becomes boring. You're gonna see me shoot here on the machine for half an hour. It's boring, but I love it. I could do it all day. And people that are great at something, doesn't matter what it is, they can endure that boredom where everybody else just goes, "Oh, I'm bored, I'm out of here." So that's my challenge to you. You wanna be great at something, I don't care what it is. It can be any walk of life. Find something that you love because you won't get bored of it. I love shooting. I don't get bored of it ever. So fight through that boredom and you'll see greatness. All right, so for our workout today, again, I know everybody doesn't have a Dr. Dish shooting machine at your house, but use your sibling, your brother, sister, mom, dad, whatever. These are gonna be pretty much stationary. I'm still dealing with that calf thing, so I'm not gonna be moving around much. But even though I've got a machine firing out to me, you could just have somebody do that and kind of fight through that boredom. I'm gonna go 5 minutes on all of these. So basically I'm gonna shoot a little bit more. I'm gonna shoot 100 of each of these. Six drills that I've got. Some balance work, a little bit of sliding, but it's fairly stationary, and that boredom is where you experience greatness, because that's where you feel the ball come off your hands perfectly every single time. So first one here, I'm gonna do a one-footed shot. So I'm gonna catch, raise my foot in the air, working on my balance, because oftentimes our balance isn't great games. Not that I'm gonna shoot a Dirk Nowitzki one-foot fadeaway, but if I lose my control and my base and balance, it forces me to be great from here on up, especially at the end. So you're gonna see me shoot a bunch of those just with one foot in the air, not as if I was falling away, but just, okay, I don't have great balance, so I gotta be great up top, okay? All right, here we go. I'm going to keep these in pretty tight. Obviously, shoot wherever you want. Okay, so first set, yes, my leg, hip flexor got a little sore there. But again, that's that boredom. You're just kind of pushing through and you get repetitive. I had a few misses there, but especially at last 40 or 50, really felt locked in. But I had to focus on my release every time. All right. Again, this won't be a hard kind of sweat it out workout. This is more just technique and getting repetition the same every time. Okay. I'm gonna go 100 again. Now my left foot in the air. This one's a little harder. To me, this is more natural. Obviously, it's your shooting side is up with you. This one's different because it's a non-shooting side, so you're kind of shooting across your body. So a little bit harder. Okay. So again, kind of, it's just a mental exercise is what that can be sometimes. And the physical part that I feel there is, your shoulder gets a little tight doing the same thing over and over and over, but I can tell when I get my forearm in line. Everybody talks about the shoulder square. I don't really care about the shoulders as much. Now, believe me, they're important, but I think about this, the forearm. That's why I like a little bit of a turn to the body. I don't think, some people get carried away, I think, but a little bit of a turn gets that forearm to the rim in a comfortable spot. Some people can be straight away and be comfortable forearm to the rim. I'm not. I know for me, it's a little bit of a turn allows that to happen. So even as I'm up on one foot, as long as this happens, I feel good about it, right? Okay, next set. Okay, we're gonna go drop and turn. So we've done something like this before. I'm gonna be turned 90 degrees. Ball's gonna come. I'm going to drop and turn at the same time, up and shoot. Okay, and we're gonna do it all the same way to start. So we're gonna do all 100 one way and then 100 the other way. Okay, all right, here we go. Just gonna speed it up a little bit. So you can see I normally when I do that drill, I want the kids to lift both feet off the ground, both feet down. So 2 up, 2 down. Because of my calf, I can't really jump. So I'm just kind of like sliding my foot, but normally 2 up, 2 down there. All right, quick break. If you notice, I lick my fingers a lot. Honestly, there's some reason to do that. It's not just a habit. To me, you shoot better when you have good grip on the ball. So because it's freezing in here, there's no humidity. There's no stick or tack to the basketball right now. In the summer, you don't have that problem. In the fall, there's usually a lot of humidity in the air. The ball feels sticky and tacky. And when you get your hands on it, they stick. Now, I get my hands on the ball and I feel like they're moving all over, or I have to hold it differently. So I'm constantly doing that or trying to get sweat on my hands to get that little bit of tackiness to get, consistent grip. You see quarterbacks do it all the time, right? They're standing on the sideline. That becomes a habit, but they're doing that to get that tackiness to the ball so that it doesn't slip in their hand. Same thing with shooting. Might be something maybe you don't do it a lot. Maybe you start thinking, okay, should I be getting a little, when we go on offense, make sure my hands are ready to catch and shoot with tackiness, with grip, so that the ball's not slipping around in my hand. Okay, we're gonna go the other way with it now. There. So you can tell I'm really compromised right now. I'm leaning left, so I either have to lean left and to try to make sure I don't lean right and miss right. So a lot of things going on right now, but I'm trying to focus on getting the ball up in the air, following through consistent every time. To me, this is all mental. Like, yeah, there's a bit of physical, but for me, from a shooting standpoint, this kind of training where you just, that boring repetition is just mental. Can you do the same thing over and over and over? All right, quick break. Excuse me. Okay, so next one, what I'm gonna do, I was gonna do some slides and back and forth, but I'm just not moving at all right now without a lot of pain. So what I'm gonna do, we do this with a lot of kids where I'm gonna catch it and I'm gonna bring it right up to the release point, pause for just a half a second, bring it down and shoot. And the goal, obviously, I'm doing the same thing twice. So I get up there, it's almost like a practice swing, right? And then I'm gonna go up and shoot it, okay? So same thing, 100 of them. Get it right to that release point. I definitely want it above your eye. I don't like seeing it down here or here. I wanted to get it above the eye, so I'm looking at the rim from underneath the ball. Bring it down to your point A, what we call that shot pocket, where you start every shot, and then I'm gonna do it again and let it go, all right? So that one was tough. That was a lot of shoulder movement. Right, a good shooter is going to use their shoulders, not their elbows, and not much wrist. A little bit of wrist, maybe, bring it back. We want to limit that pretty much as we can. But we definitely don't want to bend the elbow too much. So you notice I'm here, I'm coming up, but it's really a shoulder motion. And, fatigue, I haven't been able to do any shoulder exercises or lifting weights with the shoulders for 14 months now. So I feel major fatigue, which forces me to be great with my release. Just like in a game, you're getting leaned on all the time. Your shoulder muscles get tired. That's why from a weightlifting standpoint, you want to do, from a basketball standpoint, you want to do the exercises, the weightlifting maneuvers that are going to be more endurance, like shooting, getting those shoulders to be able to feel comfortable even after 15 shots, 10, 12 shots, but more so taking that pounding during the game, that beating, that guys grabbing your arms all the time. All right, quick break here. So what I'm going to do here, again, I was going to do a little bit more movement, but I'm going to add 100 threes at the end here. This could get ugly. Like I said, I don't have any lift, so I'm going to have to really get my momentum up there, and I'm going to probably put a lot of arc on the ball right now, maybe more so than normal. So treat this, again, just catch and shoot. I'm going to put a little more time in between this just so I have time to rest. I'm going to try and get into my shot, but you're not going to see me elevate like I normally would, which isn't much anyway, but I'm going to have to, figure out a different way to make it still work. Same thing in a game. You're never going to feel 100%. You might have a little Charlie horse or something, or your shoulder got tweaked because somebody bumped you with an elbow going through a screen. You still got to be able to figure out how to get it in the hole. All right, here we go. Ah. All right, so that was tough. I could feel myself totally modifying my shot. If you watched it at all, I missed my first 5 short, I think all of them. So I realized pretty quickly, I haven't done this in 5.5 months, 6 months. So I did a couple modifications. I made sure I brought the ball a little bit closer to my body to keep it more compact. The other major modification I made is I went way deeper and slower than I normally do. Because normally I would get a quick down and then get good explosion up. I don't have that right now with this calf thing. So I had to kind of like slowly dig down and make sure that all of that was coming up with me. Slight modifications. I had to really make sure that my follow through was perfect, right? Anything off with my follow through had no chance of going in. And then I had to make sure that I got, and I probably had the ball a little closer to my eye than I normally would. I'm curious, I'm gonna go back and watch this and see if I can notice the differences in ball placement here versus here, because I certainly was feeling different modifications. But, and my goal is always 90% when I'm shooting here. And I knew I wasn't gonna get to 90 at about 30. So then I set a new goal, 85. So how about you? It's okay to restructure your goals in life, your goals for your year, your goals for your school year, your team, and just say, okay, maybe we didn't have a good start. Instead of saying, well, the goal is here, man, we're down here, it's just not gonna happen. Adjust the goal. Maybe say, okay, it's time to go down here. Maybe get there first, then move on. So maybe the goal becomes a halfway season goal, halfway workout goal. Okay, I'm gonna try and shoot 90% or 80%, whatever, for my workout for an hour, and I'm only at 40 halfway through. Okay, I'm gonna set a goal that 3/4 of the way through, I'm up to 50. And then I go from there. So don't be afraid to adjust a little bit. Doesn't mean you're just scrapping it and starting over. You're still doing the work, but you're getting a point where you can get to those goals, because then we get that confidence. Okay, I made it, I got there. Kind of same thing I was saying yesterday with my push-ups. This was great. I haven't done this in 5.5 months. So I'm excited. It didn't feel great, but it's progress. All right, and that's what you're trying to do. Always progress a little bit further. All right, we'll see you tomorrow, guys.